Thank you for this inaugural meeting of the Environment, Regulatory and Operations Committee, informally known as EROC, which is a bit easier to say, although it does sound like a music genre, but we'll work with that. Just like to start with karakia. Tuia ki runga, tua ki raro, tuia ki roto, tua ki waho, tua tātou te tangata, kia kaupapa o te hui nei, kia kaupapa o te rangi nei, mōri ora, kia tātou katoa. So welcome everybody. Just like to acknowledge and thank those people from Vesta Quartier who have just done a presentation to us, and hope they enjoy the rest of their visit. Interesting to see how we all share similar issues within our communities and to get a little bit of insight into how they're trying to deal with them moving into the future. So lovely to have them and welcome them into town. I'd like to welcome those that are on Zoom. We have councillors Fernie Ho and Mark Greening at the moment, and so welcome. Just to remind everybody that the meeting's being live streamed and will be available on the council's YouTube channel. Please keep your microphones muted unless speaking, and hands up for questions. And if you could keep the camera off and microphones off during the breaks. We have, for those that don't know, our toilets are out in the lobby over here. Our fire exits are marked, and in the event of an emergency, our assembly area is out in the car park. The media are present, so welcome Max, and may be attending online. And for those that may need hearing assistance, we have that hardware in the back near the public gallery. So we have apologies today from the Mayor, who is away on council business. Is anyone willing to move those? Councillor Melling and Deputy Mayor Maru. Thank you. So we originally had a couple of speakers in public forum this morning, but now we are down to one. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Rothwell and Ms. Ivory on behalf of the Rolling Bones Mobility Scooter Group up to the table. They are representing a group, so they have 10 minutes. Are you going to timekeep, Kelsey? Kelsey's going to do the timekeeping for us, and she'll just do a little bell at 9 minutes, just to give you a bit of warning that time's coming to an end. I'd just like to give my apologies too over the mix-up over the last time you turned up for public forum. We felt terribly apologetic about that, so yeah. Thank you.
I would just like to introduce Julie Ivory, coming with me today. I'm Mike Rodwell. Interestingly, the last time we came here, we were concerned about young people vaping, and Julie is an example of the addiction of smoking. Julie used to smoke 60 cigarettes a day, and sadly it ended up in a stroke in Australia, and she's come back to live here now. It's a living example of the addiction of cigarettes, and sadly I think New Zealand's not got such good legislation as Australia in the defence of young people vaping. I think there's going to be some big problems coming up. Look, thank you for just in the middle of there's a cockroach epidemic in this district, and one was crawling on me last night. It's not the first time it's happened, and I flicked it off and went to stamp on it, and I knocked myself out on the table. round one to the cockroach. I managed to deal with it. But so this one, I've got this patch on. Look, I've got one or two things just to comment on, but I'm here as a goodwill visit. But just to say, I value the heritage collection is going to be built in Richmond, a storage building for it. You'd be all aware of all this. I'm very interested in history, and it'll be really handy for me. So I just thought I'd comment on that. Arvida, Julie and I live in Arvida, and just to let you know, they're pulling down about 4 or 5 houses on Queen Street and building sort of 10 townhouse style buildings, for accommodations. So when you see the work go there, you'll understand what's happening. So that's going to be addition. It's 10 new townhouses. I've come, well, first and foremost, they say in life, well, I know what it's like sitting around this table. I was a councillor in Nelson 45 years ago. Diesel fuel was only about 40 cents a litre, and this is a cause of the high cost of the work that the councils undertake around the country. The diesel fuel has a huge impact, not just on the local authority, of course, but all the contractors you deal with. And this is why it's so costly to do stuff. But look, you get lots of brickbats over the years, and I was just it's got water. It's just a token of gesture of goodwill. And why I say this is because I read in the paper you've got closed circuit TV now in your homes because of the problems of security. I find that incredible. So this is the other side of the coin. I can tell you there's thousands of people in this district who really value the work here. It goes ahead. It's hard-working people. It's only a very small fraction of people that are antisocial. I used to drive a taxi, and 99% of the people are really good. It's just 1% of the public that are a problem. Look, what Julie and I are concerned about, and it's a global problem, is this footpaths for pedestrians and the speeding cycles, and even older people. Kit Malling and I were discussing even older people on mobility scooters can be a real problem. We're concerned about it. We see it, and so in the spirit of trying to do something, and I haven't got a report here. They say a picture says 1,000 words, but I've produced this for review, for discussion. It's a token of we could adopt it maybe in Richmond. I don't know what the current rules are, but I'd really appreciate if the TDC could perhaps do perhaps even adopt this. But so I've produced that. Just for debate. On a lighter note, maybe just as a point of difference in our meeting today, and I've got something I would like to show, particularly in the Epstein file, and there's going to be a review now, and the King of England's is the king of 16 other countries. New Zealand's one. And I know Canada have made the call for being a republic, so it's going to probably happen here. And I did a little sticker for Julie because she lived in Australia for 37 years, and then on the back of that, I did a full-size flag of the sticker, and I just thought just to lighten up the meeting and perhaps something of it. Something a bit different. So is that the
Yes,
That you hold. Look, you hold that corner. So you hold that one and all. Yeah, it's just something I've done in this, and it's quite topical now. I suppose there's going to be a review of these emblems, and I've just kept the Southern Cross, introduced the kangaroo, and more importantly, of course, given the Union Jack a flick, and they've got the Federation Star there, but just to lighten up, something a bit different to. I don't want to take up any more of your time, but we're here really for goodwill, and that's just. I'm fascinated with emblems. I think it's quite important. I don't think it's our present. Thank you. Our present national flag is very reflective, really, of our country. Where's the silver fern? But anyway, hey, look, thanks for. We've probably done our time now, but if someone or as a group could review the problem of footpaths, it's becoming an international problem. And we'd really appreciate it. We understand because we're on scooters, and we can see the problem. I can tell you there's one saving grace in these scooters, whoever designed them originally. If you drive, just a background, for you guys to appreciate what's happening. When someone comes out of a shop front, and I always drive on the near the curb to be away, and you get a fright. It's mainly older people, of course, for these scooters, mobility scooters. Once the hand controls back, forward, and reverse are actually hand controls, and if someone comes out of a doorway, quite often the reaction, of course, they let go of the accelerator. But when you do that, it's got an automatic braking. Every time you let go, it brakes. And that's been probably a real saving grace from people, getting hurt with them. So that is a good feature. But they go far too fast. The sign with the person walking, I've done this because when the footpath's not occupied, going up, getting perhaps a pass, takeaway meal at night time, the speed's not an issue. But when the footpaths are occupied, that's when I think, that's why I've done that with the legislated like that. That's when the problem is, when there's lots of people. I feel people on bicycles and mobility scooters or any wheel, scooter, the scooters they should be limited to walking pace. But hey, look, thanks for your time, and we really appreciate the work the council do. It's very important. Local government is something that appealed to me because, unlike federal government, when you have party whips and you have to vote on national, party lines, you can come in local government. You can come in. You can genuinely listen to the other person's point of view and change your mind accordingly. You can't do that in party politics. That's the strength of local government. It's really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rodwell. As always, it's a delight to have you, and thank you very much for a bouquet rather than the usual brickbats we tend to get. So really appreciate the sentiment. Thank you for all the information regarding the sticker. I think we have a staff member that might be able to, if you're happy to leave it behind, we can have a look into that.
Follow up. I could be invited back, after there's been a review. Maybe, but I'm sure, I'm quite, you'll hatch out a workable thing, but it certainly needs attention, I feel.
Yeah, thank you. And the timing's quite good, given the government's going to look at some of the rules around footpaths and bicycles. We are actually out of
on TV last night, there was something about it, calling for all the country to make submissions, but it's really quite timely.
It is. We are out of time, but Councillor Neubauer did have a quick question, reminding you that it's usually a question of clarification in public forum.
Well, it would be a comment, so I'll probably have to withdraw.
Thank you. Thank you very much for coming in today. We really appreciate it.
Okay.
Right, so just wondering if we had any declarations of interest for today's meeting? No. And as far as I'm aware, we have no late items and no minutes to confirm. So we have one report on the agenda and then we have to move into public excluded. So we have coming up to the table, Jamie, who is looking for approval for temporary road closures. Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good morning, councillors. I'm happy to take the report as read and answer any questions.
Councillor Kimmel.
Thank you, through you, Madam Chair. Thank you. Just one quick question for you, Jamie. Road closure for Aporo Road from 9 AM to 3 PM. I thought the Muddy Buddy finished at midday, not 3 PM.
I'm not intimately familiar with how that event runs. That's just the time frame that they requested in their application. Yeah. I will add, typically, how these things work in practice is if the event is finished and cleaned up and traffic management's removed before that time, then they'll reopen the road. So that's kind of a maximum, not a minimum.
Yeah. Councillor Maru.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Happy to move. Happy to move.
Thank you, Councillor Maru. Councillor McNamara.
Happy to second.
Thank you. Other questions?
Oh, thanks. This is quite something, isn't it, to have this cycling event coming to Nelson Tasman, and I'm hoping that it will generate a lot of interest, because there's a lot of interest in mountain biking in our district too. We get international mountain biking. So is this on gravel roads as well, or is it all on tarmac? Do you know? I'm just wondering if it includes that kind of gravel road cycling that is becoming fashionable.
Through you, Chair, I believe it's all on sealed road. It's basically a road cycling event.
Oh, so it's skinny wheel stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, so we have it moved by Deputy Mayor Maru and seconded by Councillor McNamara. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Okay, that's passed. We now need to move into the public excluded section for the next report. Thanks, Max. We'll see you later. Do I have a mover? I'd like to move that from the chair. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Butler. All those in favour? So aye. Thank you. Right, we'll just let them. Oh, sorry, Councillor Greening, you've raised your hands.
Yeah, I was just gonna highlight the fact, don't we normally explain the reason for why we're going into confidential meetings? And secondly, what is the reason for going into a confidential meeting? Can't be for the name.
Thank you. Well, I was advised by governance that we didn't have to actually read out the entire reason, as noted in the agenda. Would you like me to point that out to you on which page that is? It's not an overly extensive agenda.
Oh, it's normal practice, I thought, to read it out and explain why we're going in so the public understand it, because they may not have access to the confidential report.
Apparently it's not necessary and it's part of the agenda, so I'm happy to move forward with that at this time. Are we now in?
So why are we going into confidential? I don't understand why we're going into confidential on this.
This is a personal matter that involves members of the public and should not be out for public digestion at this time.
even though the parties have a court case filed with the court, or did have, with names
Yes,
proposed?
yes, even so. And we've had a determination from our governance team, and I'm happy and confident to sit with that. Right, are we now, we have everybody offline that we need to? Pardon? Oh, so it's been moved and seconded. All those in favour, please say aye. Against?
Against?
Thank you, councillor Greening. Okay, we've just got a couple of minutes. Apologies, I forgot to mention, welcome our community, our Golden Board Community Board member Clarissa to the table, and to welcome her